Richard Dawkins, The Selfish Gene. Oh, Chapter 13. Let's get this started with right now. The long reach of the gene. One thing about this part is that it talks a lot about DNA replicators, and we all know what replicators are. If you remember from chapter 11, we were talking about memes, and memes are a very important part of life. Thing is, how do we resolve the paradox of two ways of looking at life? One way being like we imagine ourselves being survival machines. The other way, well, you kind of think about it yourself, and we can present it in the point of view for the genes, or we can present it in the point of view for us. So do we like the genes eye view or us our eyes view? And there's the paradox in this, and how do we even fix this view? Well, to be honest, Richard Dawkins wrote another book called The Extended Phenotype, which explains all this, and he literally wrote in the book himself that he wished that by now, just 1.5 pages into this chapter, that he just wanted us to, like, I almost wish that you guys would stop reading right now and go and read the Extended Phenotype. I don't really get it, Dawkins. Also, your name does sound a lot like Darwin. That doesn't mean you're a Darwin. Actually, technically he could be, because he's related. We'll get to that in probably another episode. And so on any sensible view of Darwinian selection, I guess it depends on how the situation goes on. Like, there's like an error that can't really be seen from our naked eye view then, or our own views and our own perspective, we can't. But how about in the gene's eye view? Then we could probably solve lots and lots of problems, which would be very nice in my opinion. Darwinian selection has been here for a long time, and one more thing is that natural selection favors some genes over others, but because of their consequences, they also favor their phenotypic effects. So Darwinism has always usually chosen to discuss genes in the phenotypic effects benefit. However, this seems to be a little bit beneficial too, or penalize the survival and the reproduction of actually whole bodies. They don't really tend to go on and talk about the beliefs of the genes themselves. The animal itself, they don't really care about the animal itself too. They kind of just care if this spreads on. So technically, our genes are immortal. Consequences, genes don't usually recognize any of this at all. And this is the final chapter of this book, so I'm just going to probably finish it right here. We had a prospering life, and if these genes survive into the next generation, then we will definitely be able to survive throughout the years and eons and other times. There's more map, and if you do the map, you will eventually find out that if you examine such a male sperm, you will find out that there are like 95. Wait, is that right? Yep, 95% of them contain a gene called a T gene. And like, yeah, there's always something to really be talking about. 50% the ratio is what we respect. However, in a wild population, a T allele happens to arise by mutation. And that's just what that is. I'm not going to go into this in detail. You guys can find out yourself. I don't have the energy and effort to actually do it myself. So, what do you think? Well, that's what you want to think about it. There are consequences, obviously, but then again, nature sometimes even benefits these consequences. So that is the end of today's episode, and I hope you guys live a long and prosperous life, and I will see you guys in the next episode. So, maybe they will favor ancestral catus genes. But the geneticists should recognize genes for house shapes in precisely the same sense as the genes will survive in. So that is about it. Schnan out. Peace. Ba 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 ba.